Exercise 10.2 Problem 1 Solution. A bus travels at a speed of 40 km per hour. Write the distance time formula, and draw the graph of it. Hence find the distance traveled in 3 hours. So what is our distance time formula? The distance equal to speed into time, and the speed is given as 40 km per hour, and they were asking us to draw a graph of it. And from the graph you have to find out the distance is traveled in 3 hours. You can very easily say 40 kilometers per hour, so 3 hours means 43 so 120 kilometers. But you'll have to draw a graph and then do that. Okay, so for that, first we'll have to get the equation, distance time equation in terms of y and x, and then plot it for various values of time, and then draw the graph, and from that we'll have to get the value of distance traveled in 3 hours. Okay, so what's the first step? We'll have to write the formula. So distance equal to speed into time. Distance is in kilometers, speed is in kilometers per hour, and time is in hour. Okay, so otherwise it will not match. They have given it as kilometers per hour and it's hour. So otherwise the units will not match. So we have to be careful about that. Okay, so distance equal to speed into time. Now if you see, speed is 40 kilometers per hour. So this is a constant c, but this is a variable. Time will vary, and this is also variable. But you see, this will vary independently, so that's what it's independent variable. But this is dependent variable. If time changes from, when time is 1 hour, 1 into 40, distance is 40. When time is 2 hours, 40 into 2, 80. So this will vary independently, it's got no constraint. But depending upon this value, this will vary. So this is a dependent variable and this is an independent variable. So what is our normal notation? Dependent variable is y and independent variable is x. Okay, so time is x and distance is y. So let's form a distance y. Okay, dependent variable versus time, which is an independent variable for the bus. So this is a constant, so we don't need to bring that in the table. Table is only for the independent variable and dependent variable, right? Now form the table. So let's take 4 values, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour and 5 hour. Okay, right, and so what will be the distance as per this formula? Distance is speed into time, so distance is 40 into time. So 40 into 1 is 40, 40 into 2 is 80, 43 is 120, 44 is 160, 45 is 200. So this is the table, right? Now we'll have to find, now if you look at this table, as the time increases from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, the distance is also increasing, 40 to 80, 80 to 120, 120 to 160. We'll have to get this equation, that's what we are trying to do. Right, so y is directly proportional to x. The distance is directly proportional to the time. So y is directly proportional to x, or when you convert a directly proportionality to equation, it will become y equal to kx. Y is directly proportional to x, or y is equal to kx. Now the k value you will have to find. What is the k value? K is y divided by x, right? Right, now y by x is, for this case, is 40 by 1, for this is 40 by 2, sorry 80 by 2, this is 120 by 3, this is 160 by 4 and 200 by 5. In all these cases it is the same value, the k equal to 40. So the equation is y equal to 40 into x. Okay, we are doing it methodically, but straight away we can also write distance, you are taking it as y, so y is equal to speed is 40, 40 into time you are taking it as x, so y equal to 40x. But methodically this is how you need to do, right? So sometimes they will give you a value straight away in the table form and they will ask you to find the equation. So in this case it's easier, but if they give you a table, if they don't give you this formula and they give you the table of values and ask you to find the equation, this is how you need to do. Okay, so we'll have to see whether y is increasing when x is increasing. In this case, as x is increasing, y increases. So y is directly proportional to x, or y is equal to kx and k is equal to y by x, and find the value of k for few values. I have done it for all the values. You just do 1 or 2, it will be the same value. From that you get the value of k and re-substitute that here. or substitute that value here, then this will become y equal to kx, that is k is 40, so y equal to 40x is our graph. So this is the equation and this is the table. Now we'll have to, what you have to do, we'll have to plot the graph. And to plot the graph, what's the next step? You'll have to fix the scale. See, x is time, so it will never be negative. So it varies from 1 to 5. So you can take a scale 1 to 10. 1 to 10 means we can have 1 centimeter equal to 1 unit. But now look at the distance. Distance also cannot be negative. So it varies from, it can be from 0 to 200. So we have to have a bigger scale. So probably 1 centimeter equal to 20 units will do. Okay. So let's see that here. Okay, so and before that, so scale will, I think 1 centimeter equal to 20 units or 40 units. If you make it 40, it will become too small. Maybe if you make 1 centimeter equal to 20 units for the y-axis, it will be reasonably good. The next thing is that you will have to put all the points together. So this is x and y. So the point is 140, 280, 3 120, 4 160, 5 200. So these are the points which we need to plot. So this is the graph, this is the table, and this is the point. And when you, and this will be a straight line because y equal to 40x is a straight line. Once you have the straight line, then we can find out the distance it traveled in 3 hours or 3.5 hours or 4.5 hours, whichever value you want, we can find from the graph. Now let's get the graph. Okay, so the x-axis varies from 0 to 40. As I said, y-axis 1 unit is taken as 20 units, and since both the time and the distance are positive always, so there is no point having negative x and negative y. If for completion's sake, you can just have 1 centimeter on the negative and 1 centimeter on the negative y also, but I've not done that. You can do that. Okay, now plot, write out the values of the y values. So this will be 0, 20, 1 centimeter is 20. So 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, it goes on. Whereas 1 centimeter, it's not exactly 1 centimeter, it's slightly big, but this is a problem with these, when you do it on a computer, it's not on a graph sheet. So this is 1 unit is 1 centimeter here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is midpoint, so it's half an hour. Okay, so it's not exactly equal to 1 centimeter. Both the 1 centimeter here represents this distance and 1 centimeter represents this much on the x-axis. That is basically, I have to do it such a way to get some clarity. Otherwise it will become too small and it will be very cluttered. So that's the reason I'm doing it. So, but on a graph sheet it will be very clear for you. Okay, they both will be equal 1 centimeter. Now we'll have to plot the points 1 and 40. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 40. X is equal to 1 is here, 40, y equal to 40 is here. So you come right and go up. So this is the point. So now let's take another point, 4 and 60. X is equal to 4 and y is equal to 160 here. So you come horizontally on the right side and you go up. So they will meet. This is the point. Like that, you plot the remaining points and you'll get a straight line. Now this straight line represents the distance versus time. It's a graph for the distance versus the time, and the equation is y equal to 40x. Now what have they asked? They asked us to find the value when the time is 3 hours. So from 3 hours, draw a line to hit the intersect the straight line, and from there draw a horizontal line. So that leads to 120. So in 3 hours, the distance is y, right? The distance traveled is 120 kilometers. Now they ask us to find 2.5 hours. So this is 2 hours, this is 2.5 hours. So from here, okay, you'll have to draw a vertical line. Right? It's not vertical, but it is. Okay, that's the best I can do. So it intersects here. So this leads to 100 kilometers. So 2.5 hours. You would have traveled 100 kilometers. So like that, any value you can find. Inversely, what's the time it will take to travel 180 kilometers? 180 from here, come horizontally, it cuts here, right? It cuts here. Drop down. So that will come and cut somewhere here. So 180 kilometers is 4.5 hours. Okay. 5 hours. So this is when you draw, it's here, from here if you drop down, it comes down. So it will take 4.5 hours to travel 180 kilometers. So like that, various values of distance with respect to time or time with respect to distance can be determined using this graph. Okay, so let me sum it up. So here you have given a statement that bus travels at 40 kilometers, and we have to write the distance formula. Distance equal to speed into time. Make sure the units are consistent, and we know this is time is an independent variable, distance is a dependent variable. Distance depends on time. When time is 1 hour, distance is 40. When time is 2 hours, distance is 40. So we'll have to take the distance as y and independent variable time as x. Speed is a constant. So create the table, and from the table get the various values of for various values of time, get the values of y. Okay, and then you know y, as you see from the table, as x increases, y is also increasing. So y is directly proportional to x. When x increases from 1 to 5, the y increases from 40 to 200. So it's directly proportional, or y equal to kx, and k is y by x. So using all these values, y, in the first case y is 40, x is 1, so it is 40 by 1. For the second case it is 80 by 2. Third case is 120 by 3. I have done for all the values. You don't need to do that. You just do 2 or 3, and from there you get the value of constant k. Once you get k, rewrite the equation. So y equal to 40x. Now you have the equation, you have the table. You can go ahead and plot the curve. Once you plot the curve, you are asked to find 3 hours, the distance it travels in 3 hours. So draw a line, vertical line, where it cuts the straight line, and from that point go horizontal and find out the value it intersects. So here it is 120. So at 3 hours it travels 120 kilometers. Okay, so that's how this problem is to be worked out. I hope it's clear. If not, please go through one more time. It will become clear. Thanks for watching this video.